chants are okay, but chants are just to keep people awake.
The atmosphere. Come on. You like the
A lot of
atmosphere.
smoke, weak lungs. So,
It's a really good tagline for you, I think.
it's going to be my memoir.
That's really good. The Zach Bruder brand. A lot of smoke, weak lungs.
Yeah. Hello and welcome back to the FlurrySports Podcast, the only podcast water resistant up to 50 meters. My name is Zach Bruder, and with me as always is Jake Osmond. How's it going, Jake?
It's going good. Didn't know we were so water resistant, buoyant.
You can bring us to a water park, wouldn't bring us to a lake.
No.
Steep drop-offs, can't see it through the water.
That's right. Thank you for joining us. The FlurrySports Podcast, surprisingly, still good. Just like any item made by Hostess after 1980. Those things never go bad, man.
You were correct.
I had a Twinkie from before my dad was born this weekend, and it rocked. Dude. Not gonna lie. Pretty darn good. It's a pre-peat. A pre-peat treat, and it was pretty damn good.
It was a pre-peat treat, and boy was it sweet.
Oh, not quite. Didn't finish the rhyme scheme. But now it's good. As we record this now, the Final Four just got a lot less fun, as it always does. Yeah. But here's my hot take. Ready? Starting out of the gates with it. The Final Four is the worst part of March Madness.
I don't even think that's a hot take.
Not a hot take. It's dumb now. All the fun is gone.
We realize, college basketball's not that fun.
Yeah, that moment when, Kansas.
Damn it. Coach K?
Yeah, UNC's the plucky undercard here.
Right. Yeah, everyone loves a good feel-good story, the up-and-coming UNC team.
I'm not, realizing how blue bloods it is until I'm thinking of it right now, and I'm like, who's the fourth team? And I'm like, Villanova.
The whitest team in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm like, there's our dark horse. Not very dark.
No, they came down from their high horse to play everyone. Good for them.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I don't want Kansas to win.
No one does.
No, I've got too much K-State in me. Go Cats. Ride till we die. So now I'm rooting for Villanova.
I think Villanova is...
They're the good guys.
Yeah, they're the people's champ of this, and that's crazy. They've won the most out of these teams recently.
It's like you're saying you're rooting for the Supreme Court. It's the people's choice out of the three branches of government. It's
right.
No, we're rebellious. We're more of a Supreme Court kind of guy. Not much of a legislative branch fella.
Boy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been a fun tournament till now. The Sweet 16 was really good.
That was still good.
That was
surprisingly.
Still good.
There's definitely a dip. I mean, after the first weekend, there's always a dip.
Yeah.
Because first weekend's just chaos. That's fun.
Yeah.
Everyone's going for a perfect bracket still.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, St. Peter's is here. Thanks for spoiling the party. But at least we can get on board. Okay, if they fucked me out of some money, let's at least win some games and knock down some more Kentuckys.
Yeah.
And then they play UNC, and then this happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is, okay, so actually one of my pet peeves was this. I hate that they market so much that there's no perfect brackets. They're like, haha, you're all wrong. Play next year. They're all always guess what, America? Wrong again. Yeah. It'd be like if they showed us how the American Idol champion did and it was always bad. They were like, guess what, Philip Phillips? Flash in the pan. Way to go, America. Better luck next time. Except, always the Final Four feels very predictable. How does the most unpredictable thing in sports have the most predictable outcome? If someone told me they had this Final Four, I would just be like, cool, dude.
Right. And honestly, in my narrative bracket, not my main one that I entered most of it, my narrative bracket that I was rooting against, I have 3 out of the 4.
Yeah.
And the one I didn't have was Villanova, which I have in the main one, but I went with Tennessee for the bit because I had them in the model. They had to win it.
That's right. That is really good. I don't know. Out of, like you said, out of these 4, there's one narrative thread that I'm interested in, which is Coach K black holes the world. I do like the idea of him just, him being the white knight. Like, can't even, his players were trying to call him the GOAT yesterday, and he told them to shut up. Like, he's so dead set against his own face turn. It's the worst, but it is really funny.
Jake, he was tearing up, though, just talking about how much he loved his team and how much he's so proud of this team, how they pulled it together. And, you know, I'm not sure what they're fighting for, he said. But they're pulling it out of nowhere. They got a lot of heart. They got a lot of grit. They probably have a lot of backing funds to keep going and maybe into some other pools of cash that are circulated in the tournament. But Coach K, I'm happy for him. And I think the college world needs him to ride off in the sunset with another title, don't you?
No. But, like, who's the plucky underdog here? Is him? I've said this last week. I think the most heel, like the most villainous outcome is him losing to North Carolina again. I don't want the Tar Heels fans to have that. Like, just to be totally honest, after they beat him at home, those gas bags don't need his last. So, but who do I give it to then? Kansas? Does Bill Self need that? No. He does not need that. That's the worst. Like, that's the worst possible timeline. But I don't know. Villanova beating him, great. Jay Wright's a good guy, right? That seems right.
I think so.
Seems right.
I have no read on Jay Wright. I think he's a good coach. I have no idea if people like him or dislike him, and I don't know if I like him or dislike him.
For whatever reason, him and the guy from Gonzaga are synonymous in my mind. Like, they take up the same space. Like, just very good coaches with cardboard personalities. Just very, like, we played hard, you know. We stick to the fundamentals, all that jazz. Like, okay, right. So I don't know. I will say though, this outcome just takes the wind out of the ones going out beforehand. Like, everyone which probably isn't fair, but like Gonzaga and Arizona going out didn't feel very special because it's like Kansas is still in it, which isn't how it should work. It shouldn't be like if one makes it, they all do. That's not, but it feels that way where it's like, cool, Gonzaga didn't make it. Great. Kansas is there. Down with the giants of Gonzaga. At least they're the plucky, we can never, always the bridesmaid, never the bride story.
Well, even in that region, like, no one thought of Duke as the 2.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, Duke would be the underdog against Gonzaga. No one truly felt that.
Well, you know, a good story, you need to overcome something. What's Kansas overcoming? Sanctions? Like, what are we doing? They stuck it to Memphis instead? Is that a win? Memphis gets hit hard, dude. No school gets hit harder than Memphis with sanctions.
No, it also, I mean, the news story about the sanctions, it's also nothing new.
Yeah,
It's the same thing as from a year ago. They're like, hey, remember this? The people are like, more sanctions. No.
Same thing.
Still James Wiseman, who's a fucking scrub. That's the biggest, worst thing Penny Hardaway did. Like, you recruited the wrong kid. Like, Wiseman's not that good, dude.
And now you must pay for it. Yeah. My other pet peeve, as long as we're talking about that before we fantasy book stuff for the end here, which I don't even know what I want to happen, is announcers. Stop telling your partner that they have to say how many free throws have been made in a row. I said this to you yesterday. It's become like a consistent bit now, where all of the play-by-play announcers are like, hey, read this. The partner's like, no, I don't want to. Like, you have to. Oh, he hasn't missed a free throw? Gotcha! You're the jinx. You can see that they're all being too cute with it.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't lean against our suspicious fear of superstitions.
The only announcer who likes to go against that kind of stuff is Al Michaels. And he loves to say, this person hasn't missed a field goal in 5 years. He loves to just always say that right before every kick, whether it's true or not. Yeah. You can hear his smile on his face. Like, come on, miss it. He wants chaos 24/7.
Well, also that level of awareness, I'm just like, no, you signed up for this. You get to be an announcer. Take the heat for my team's wins or woes, you know?
Yeah.
Even though it's not your fault, no, this is on you.
How big of an ego do you guys? Oh, if I say this, then they're going to hear it and miss it. Like, they're going to get too confident, too big for their britches because I, Kevin Harlan, notable biter of women's necks, think this guy's too good.
Well, and also, all right, listen here, Gus Johnson. So you think now that you got your buddy to say it, that when it happens, I'm going to be mad at him? No,
it's still on you guys.
It's still on you because you acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other thing, is it feels like they're going back and being like, all those times it happened, it was us. They're like, we need to do something about it. That's just annoying me so much. It's happened too often. I'm like, no, just take the hit. It's the only thing watching for the underdog that gives me hope is when they say it.
Right. Yeah, like, oh, now they got a chance.
That's right. They might miss.
Someone say it during the St. Peter's game. Somebody say it. Say that North Carolina's hitting too many shots.
That's right. That's what we needed. Just to quickly book how we want this to go. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to start with the one that's more chaotic. I'm going to start with Villanova and Kansas. Because what I'm trying to figure out is it better. I just really don't want Kansas to win the whole thing, but I'm trying to figure out if I want them to win this game and then lose.
I don't think you do.
No, I think I want Villanova to. Honestly, if you made me pick a winner for the whole thing right now, legitimately, I might pick Villanova. I really like how they're playing. So that one would be really good. What I would love booking-wise for that is that just to be a good game. That's what I really want for that. But Villanova wins, like the blue blood team that does it right, I guess, could be the story. And then I guess we'll have Jay Wright. I want Jay Wright to redeem a loss from Coach K. So we're going to have Jay Wright beat UNC. Okay. I think that makes sense. So maybe we'll do it that way. No, screw it. Going to do it different. UNC's the biggest heels in the country. They're going to beat Coach K and Jay Wright. There we go. That's how we're going to do it. So UNC beats Coach K. He cries. And then off we go into the sunset.
I don't know how that can happen, but if Coach K loses to UNC,
and then goes to UNC.
That would be awesome. There is a greater than 0% possibility he comes back. There has to be. He lost his last game at Cameron to UNC, and then he loses his last ever game to UNC for a chance to go to the national championship.
I will say the one thing that kind of stinks, just narratively, is like that rivalry would be there, but now that Roy Williams and Coach K are both gone, I don't know if like Duke beating UNC next year has any real no
stakes.
And
that's why I like where your head's at, because when I was thinking about how I want this to go, Roy Williams is for sure involved.
They've been showing him in the crowd a lot.
Too much, right?
Yeah.
It's John Cena at WrestleMania. He's in the crowd. Why is he there? So Roy Williams, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be like someone security guard talking to him. He's going to be running. He's going to run down the court.
It might take him a little longer than it took Cena, but
I don't know. John Cena ran a while.
A long time. That was a long rant. That's true.
So he's going to run away, and all of a sudden, on the other end of the court, it's going to be Buddy Boeheim.
Oh.
And Roy Williams on the other side. And they're just going to run and just both clothesline Coach K. Just take him out for the game. It doesn't matter if they get hauled away, jailed. It doesn't matter. It probably, what's his dad's name? Jim Boeheim.
Yeah.
He's going to be, Mr. Burns twiddling his fingers up at the top row, probably. Watch out. He's not behind the wheel, so he's not as dangerous. But, yeah, Roy Williams has to be involved here. He has to take out Coach K one last time.
Or he reveals underneath his button-up that he's always wearing a Duke shirt. It's a great ACC conspiracy.
Yeah.
He joins forces. Buddy Boeheim comes in, punches Jay Wright. All of the ACC teams come together next year. Oh, he's retiring as head coach. And they all jump to Syracuse. All of them.
Roy Williams has a lot of ties here. If he took out Coach K to help UNC win, obviously, former coach UNC, then UNC has to play Kansas, former team.
Oh.
And then he's taking out Bill Self. Roy Williams is just kamikazeing this.
How about this? Okay. How about this? Coach K, Roy Williams doesn't like it. He almost interferes, but he holds back because he's like, Coach K's earned his respect, so he wins. But then Bill Self isn't doing it the right way, so Roy Williams costs Bill Self in the big game.
Okay.
For Coach K.
Where's Juwan Howard come? Who's he hitting? Someone.
Buddy.
It's always
the fight we always wanted. Yeah. I think that's the showdown we want. So, yeah, I don't know. So is it more interesting if UNC wins the whole thing or if they... Because I don't want them to... I think what I've come to the conclusion of is I don't know if I just want them to beat Duke. I think if I want them to beat Duke, I want them to win the whole thing. Or I want Coach K to beat them.
I don't want Coach K to win. For sure. I think it's very funny that he loses to North Carolina back-to-back without Roy Williams.
That part feels really, like, talk about scripting and stuff. The fact that this is their first ever tournament meeting, and it's this game. Yeah. They've been, like, throwing that up all over the graphics and stuff, which is unbelievable. Almost too unbelievable.
That's right.
So... that feels scripted, but the fact that on the other side of the card they have Kansas and Villanova, I'm like, that's what you're doing over there? Okay, we went wrong booking somewhere along the line, but that's fine.
They're building, what they are doing is building it up for Coach K to be 1-0 against North Carolina all time in the tournament, basically. Like, this is a bigger win than that loss was in the regular season.
If you're going this is what I don't want to happen. It's still not as bad as Kansas just winning it, but if
that is worst case scenario.
That is worst case scenario. But what it feels like if it's booking, if you just want me to predict it that way, Coach K beats UNC, beats Kansas. It's like the most blue blood exit.
That's exactly what my bracket is. I'm like, this would be the worst. So I don't want it to happen.
Oh, that would be bad. They have to change the name of the Basketball Hall of Fame to the Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah, you gotta say
it. I tried so hard. Mike Krzyzewski. I'm gonna have to say his name later too for Bury the Lead. It's not going well.
But yeah, they're putting the full name on there. It's not gonna be Coach K Hall of Fame.
No,
they're gonna make everybody say it.
T-shirts, really long T-shirts.
Just bad hats. Yeah, I think that's the way. I mean, we threw out like basically every scenario there, but I think what we're trying to say is the Final Four blows, and we miss. We're going to be excited about March Madness next year for the first weekend again, and then we got to remember this. We have to remember this moment because it always comes back to this. Yeah. Every Final Four sucks.
Yeah.
Don't get too crazy with your Final Four.
Yeah.
Just take the worst, like the teams you don't want to see there.
Yeah, it gets less fun every round. Yes. That's how you need to fill out your bracket. The Sweet 16, fun. The Elite 8, oh no. The Final Four, ugh. Every time. And you can get a little fun with your championship matchup, a little bit, but your champion's not fun.
No, never fun.
Never fun. So that would be a fun conversation sometime. What's the most fun champion ever? Probably North Carolina State. People remember that as more of a Cinderella win than it was, but...
Yeah, they do. Probably, yeah. That different show, different time, but yeah. That's...
Same damn show, same damn time. All right, do we want to bury the lead off of that?
Let's do it, yeah.
It mentions a lot of names that we've just talked about, Zach. So
perfect.
If you're a new listener, Bury the Lead is a segment where we tell you what figures in sports should be known for. This season... Pardon me, we've only had... Sorry, that's good for you. I tried to keep it down.
Jake's getting excited, everybody.
Dude, I had meatloaf for supper, sorry. In honor of the world's greatest singer. So, we've only had one inductee into the Hall of Fame this season. It was J.R. Smith.
Yes.
Yes, who went in for no soup for you, but soup for you, throwing it at his coach. So, that's what he should be remembered for. So, in this segment, I have... This is bad. This is my This is my Stu Gott segment. Just all of the phlegmy voices I can make. It's an all blue blood coaches edition of Bury the Lead, Zach.
Sounds fun.
It's fun. Also, very hard to research. Looking up these guys' names and going odd or controversy. A lot there. So it's good. I think it's loaded. It's just, I think I have one that's from 2005 and the others are all from the last 5 years.
Okay.
Because I was expecting like all these weird ones people had forgotten about from way back when, but there's just too much recent stuff. So it's very good. We're going to start, Zach, with what comes to mind when you think of Tom Izzo?
Good guy.
Good guy.
Funny. He's got a charming personality. A little aggressive with his players. He kind of created the monster that is Draymond Green, I think.
So does Draymond.
Yes. Obviously, Michigan State, and as we talked about, I think last week, sort of helped cover up maybe some of the controversies going on there.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to stick to it. He was probably out recruiting. What can he do? Izzo is just dedicated, married, if you will, to the job.
Yeah.
Good basketball coach, though.
Good basketball coach. Another thing with Izzo that I think gets forgotten now is for years he was known as Mr. March because his team never didn't make it to the Sweet 16.
January, February, Izzo, April. Yes.
It's even got a better ring to it than March. True. So that was his legacy for a long time. Yes, one I wrote down just to talk about briefly. I think part of his legacy is going to be grabbing players' jerseys, pushing them. That happened twice, one more notable time in the Big Ten tournament. Something that you mentioned that I think people have glossed over too much, I think Draymond Green's defense of it hurt that. The fact that he came out, I read that again, the fact that his tweet was like, hey, listen, everyone, this is typical Michigan State. Get over it. And I'm like, that's worse. The fact that you're like, another day at the office for Tom Izzo. I'm like, okay, now I'm concerned. Like before, I was like, he's angry, it's fine, and you're like, typical Tuesday for Tom. And
it's like, this is bad.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, that was not as helpful as you thought, Draymond. Off of that, this was one I found really, really funny. The weak sexual assault allegations came out against Larry Nassar in Michigan State, as well as some Michigan State players being involved. He was asked by a reporter if this was the toughest week he's ever had as coach of the Michigan State program. His exact response was, well, when you lose to Middle Tennessee State in the tournament, it doesn't get much worse than that.
That's fair. Quite the shot, though.
What a dunk on Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it's like, oh, dude, nothing's worse than losing to Middle Tennessee State.
Lowest of the low.
That one, I was like, that would be a really funny legacy, just to be like, what do you remember him for? Losing to Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah.
But I think what you should remember him for, Zach, is he's really funny. He had a presser in 2014 when asked about how he thought his team could do that year. He went on a tirade about all of the weird injuries that his team had that year. And these are the exact quotes from it. He literally pulled out the list and was like, just in case you thought that we were playing in the same game as everyone else. Gary Harris got injured raising his arm. It was freakish. Costello got mono. Quit kissing girls on campus. I don't know. You know. That's not basketball related. Then he said, Payne got plantar fasciitis. I get that. You get that. Anyone can get that. It's not really an athletic injury, and it really hurt him. Then Dawson punches a table. What do you do with that? Be a little smarter, I guess. Punch a pillow, you know. I don't know. There were some strange injuries. Probably the only one that was legit was Keith Appling, and he just fell on his wrist. So I thought all of that was an awesome just roast of his own players. The mono one gets me every time. I don't know. Stop kissing women on campus. Punch a pillow instead is also really good.
He's working on his tight five there for sure.
True. That's like what you didn't have to do that, Izzo. Like we all knew, and he's just like, no. I've got it written up pretty good here.
And this guy in the audience, what's he doing? Doing crowd work in the middle of his presser.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's a little interesting. So that's Izzo. Stand-up comic.
Yes.
Tom Izzo.
Yeah.
Mono hater, Tom Izzo.
Right.
Next, Zach.
Hates romance.
That's right. Boxing champion father, Jim Boeheim. What comes to mind? What comes to mind when you think of old Jim?
Oh, 2-3 defense, earned a lot of wins, lost a lot of wins through some controversy.
Yeah.
He killed a guy, coach of Syracuse,
Yeah.
battled it out in the Big East for so long now in the ACC. He did kill a guy. I do remember that.
That did happen, yes.
Let's not forget.
Manslaughter, yeah. He wasn't charged with anything but a car accident. He didn't die. Other guy, who's to say?
Couldn't handle his beer.
That's right. He's a national champion, though.
Oh, attaboy. Good coach.
Games vacated, not the banners that came from those winning games, though, so good for him. Don't know how that works. He's the only coach ever to win a championship on a 3-win season. So
impressive.
That's right, really impressive. Some things that he should be remembered for, Zach, a recent one that I've been finding really funny. Twitter has exploded in this tournament because they keep thinking that, apologies for getting this name wrong because I'm going to, that Miami head coach Jim Larangya is his doppelganger. Every time
is true.
Every time he shows up on screen, it like exploded on Twitter one night of what's Boeheim doing on the Miami bench. And it's like, no, that's not that Jim. It's a different Jim. So that has been really funny, hilarious tweets of like how bad does he hate Buddy that he's just jumped to the Hurricanes. So that's one that's happening right now that I think is really good. His overall, this is his runner-up one. His overall grumpiness to reporters has had some really funny moments, including this one, which he got flack for. He was asked about a lineup change that he could have made, and his response was, I guess I can't figure that out after 45 years as a coach. I need a reporter to figure that out for me who's never played basketball and is 5'2". So got him.
Yeah.
Got him. Nothing like a height comment. Also, it was over Zoom.
You're short. You're like 3 inches.
Yeah, which I love. And then this one, recent, but it's very good. He got asked about Buddy and the punching incident, and his response to it was, it was clear to me that the punch was inadvertent. It was just an accident that comes from playing the game. Right. One reporter called him out on it and was like, Coach, we're watching it right now. He like clearly just hit that guy. It didn't seem to be inadvertent. Coach threw up his arms in the air and responded, okay, whatever you say, because we're not allowed to see things differently, huh? We can't have different perspectives. You and I can't see it different. I guess it wasn't inadvertent. And then he ended it that way because he's a child.
That's awesome.
So good. It's also such a weird place to throw the different perspective card in there. Oh, okay. Guess my son's a bully. Guess that's how we see it, huh?
We can't just have a normal conversation. It's always political. It's left or right with you people, black or white.
Yeah, my son either punched a guy or he didn't. Yeah. We all have our own opinions. So that I thought was good. But what should he be remembered for, Zach? We also have a dog in studio, which makes everything better.
He'll be after this segment. He'll get out of here. But he loves burying the lead. What can I say?
This one. Oh, I forgot I threw this in there. This is actually the runner-up because it's just absolutely awesome. He was asked about one of your favorite NBA finals, I think, Zach, when LeBron James beat the Spurs with the Heat. Yeah, not one of your favorites.
Yeah, that was great. That was good. Love Ray Allen.
Don't we all? So when Boeheim was asked about that series, you might be surprised who he took a shot at during it. He was asked, what did you think?
Relax, bro.
He knows where the mic is, though.
Yes, he does.
He's breathing directly up.
Where's my camera?
Center stage. So he was asked, what did you think of the series? Boeheim responded, it was a great series. Really, those last 2 games were unbelievable. I don't think they could be any better than that. It was great for basketball. Part of you wants the Spurs to win because they have such a great organization. They do it the right way. They did everything they could do to win. But in the end, Danny Green proves why he's been in and out of the league this whole time. He really cost him. Just
why?
Buries Danny Green because he's a UNC guy. He hates Danny Green and always has. But it just
always dancing in college.
At the end of it, I just love that he was like, I always knew Danny Green would cost him the game. He's like, what a great organization. He also phrased it as, on one hand, you want the Spurs to win. On the other hand,
Danny Green.
Which is just fantastic. I almost picked that one, but instead I'm going to go with, do you remember, Zach, when Jim Boeheim had a feud with the city of Greensboro, North Carolina?
I don't.
So the AACC moved their championship to New York City in 2017. When he got asked about that, surprise, the coach of Syracuse, he thought it was a good idea. This was also right after they exited the ACC tournament in the first round in an upset. So he got asked, and he said, I think the big city is where it should be played. I think it should be played here, Washington, Atlanta. That's where the tournament should be held. Huge value in playing in those places. There's no value in playing in Greensboro. None. It's just closer for UNC and Duke and 150 ACC officials. That's it. So I'm saying this because I don't give a shit anymore. That's his full quote. And this is where it gets good, Zach. The city of Greensboro Twitter responded, "We kindly disagree, but I guess you can lose anywhere in the first round. At least it's a quicker ride home." Which, good response, good response. The mayor responded, unfortunately for Syracuse, they didn't stay around long enough to experience the Greensboro value. Got him. And then finally, he also got ripped up by the local Greensboro baseball team. That's right, the Greensboro Grasshoppers, who tweeted out that the next week they were hosting a Jim Boeheim no value night, where anyone coming to the game who could prove that they were from Syracuse, New York, with a driver's license would get a free ticket, $20 in food and beverage vouchers, and a pregame meet and greet with a Hall of Famer. Contrary to what Jim Boeheim thinks, Greensboro is a great place, and we want to show him our city, our ballpark, and our southern hospitality to our friends from Syracuse. We know that not all of them are whiners and crouchers like their basketball coach. They will also honor Boeheim with the wine of the game, where they bestowed his face in sticker form on wine bottles to fans throughout the arena. So Greensboro buried Jim Boeheim. He came out later and he apologized for what he said about the city, but he did still say that they should never go back playing there for the championship.
Of course.
Yeah.
Quite the ironic thing to have Jim Boeheim's face on a bunch of alcohol, though, eh?
Can't handle it.
No, he could not.
Yeah, what are you going to say?
Probably a good thing that for the city of Greensboro that Jim Boeheim didn't experience the nightlife.
Yeah, that's fair. I just can't get over if only you were around longer, Jim.
Right, yeah.
It's great birds. Really good birds. Also, he's right. That's the part of that that's, yeah, it should be in Greensboro. But, I just like that he's like, no, none. I don't give a shit. Like, he's like, what's going to happen? He knew what was about to happen. Greensboro was going to bury him. He's like, I can take it. So I like that. And that is Jim Boeheim's nomination. Finally, Zach, it's Mike Krzyzewski. It's Coach K. What comes to mind when you think of old Special K?
Just a good guy. Really good.
All three of these dudes.
Yeah. Obviously one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. Not the best, but one of them. Extremely successful. He has had a lot of successes with Team USA as well. He's actually been really good for Team USA. But yeah, lots of controversies there. Lots not really caring about if the players get in trouble. Not really super. He doesn't place class very high on the priority list.
No.
Lots of stuff like that, I would say, with Coach K.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned classes, Zach. That may come into his first honorable mention here. He did win 5 championships so far with Duke, so pretty good. This first nomination, Zach, he was being interviewed after a game. The person asking the question on Zoom was a student reporter in 2021.
Okay.
Asked Coach K, what does Duke do next after starting 5-5? Coach K responded by asking, what's your major? Which, scary response to the question, right? That's like, he didn't answer it at first. He gave like a solid 10 seconds of like, and then finally was like, econ. So he said that, and then Coach K hit him with, how would you feel if when you graduated, I asked you what was next? What? And then said to him, why don't you have some empathy, son? And then that's how he answered the question. Coach K just dunked on him. First of all, why you got to do the econ major like that?
Yeah.
But also, that's not the same. But I do like, what's next, huh? What's next, kid? Do you know? No, just hit him with existential dread. Way to go, bud.
Some empathy. Fuck you. That's how be my response.
He did later apologize. Good for him.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on the fly switching the order of these because this was such a tie-up. We are going to go to the video I sent you next for our honorable mention here.
Okay.
For Coach K. So this will be an audio for the fans. I want his retirement to be remembered this way. That as he was walking up to the podium to announce his retirement, for whatever reason, they thought this should be his walk-up song.
Oh, yes, I know this.
Yes, so here it comes, everyone. Remember this as his legacy.
Okay, here we go. Oh, so good. Love it, dance.
So It's little dance.
There we go.
Yeah,
Get
you
it,
need
Coach
to watch it, folks. Why is this his walk-up song?
I'd like to think he chose it. So awkward, man. Every time we touch, that was a 6th grade song for Zach Bruner.
I love that, like, all the tweets were like a song that's synonymous with Duke basketball. Is it? Is it? I've never once considered the two intertwined. So love that apparently they played at games, which is great.
Weird.
They
That's
also played at middle school dances, to your defense.
Yeah.
So
that's a weird one.
Yeah.
They're crazy down there.
They're crazy. Oh, Cameron crazies. Or should he be remembered for this, Zach? And I'm can't believe that I was able to dig this up. I do remember hearing about this a little bit. In 2005, Zach, here we go. Here's our way back machine. Before a game against Georgia Tech, Coach K was trying to figure out a way to pump up his players. So he showed his team a clip of Braveheart to get them fired up before the game. As he had his assistants play the clip, he timed it so that right as, good old William Wallace yelled freedom, he came screaming into the locker room holding his old army saber in the air, literally waving a sword around over his head, and then screaming and stabbed it into a potted plant, which he had strategically placed. They brought a planter full of dirt into the room just so that he could stab his sword into it as like a visual effect. So he comes running in, and then what Braveheart quote? Famous Braveheart quote. Do you think he yelled at his players to get them pumped up?
Freedom?
Wrong. He yelled, "Let's go, motherfuckers!" And then he didn't even finish the quote. Yeah, he was like, "Come on, dude, you're doing a Braveheart thing. Why is that your rallying cry? As William Wallace once said, let's go, mother effers," and then ran him out of the locker room, sword still planted in dirt.
I hope there's some camera that captured this. Because there has to be, because you walk into a locker room, everyone saw the plant.
Yeah.
Like, why is there this large potted plant here?
Coaches bring it in, why is it by the door? Oh, God, he's stabbing it. Great. Yeah, don't worry about it.
He did this last year.
Well, that's the funniest part to me is it was a one-off thing. Like, Coach K's like, let's try something new. And he's like, it didn't quite work.
He is like the Von Miller of college basketball.
I also like that he just, in 2005, got on a Braveheart kick.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, you know what really pumped these guys up? Mel Gibson.
It seems like something Billy B might do for the Patriots this year.
That's true. I hope he doesn't, let's go, motherfuckers, and then it's out there. So, Zach, who should join our Bury the Lead Hall of Fame? Should it be Tom Izzo, stand-up comic, roasting the injuries of his player? Should it be Jim Boeheim, hated by Greensboro? Or should it be William Wallace impersonator, Coach K? Plant murderer.
The whole experience of Coach K stabbing that plant, I think, does it for me.
Yeah.
Like, I know everyone was like, saw the plant. Like a long time beforehand. They're like, let's just watch this movie.
He's a genius. Watch the clip. Watch the clip.
Yeah, it'll make sense in a second.
Yeah. His assistant coaches were saying that, hey, coaches, what's going on? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Watch this clip. Yeah. There's some metaphors coming. Don't worry about it. And I like that it was his sword.
Right, yeah.
Like, he's been waiting. I like that. I hope that's how he came up with it. I really should use this thing.
Yeah. His wife said, use it or we're throwing it away.
Goodwill needs it.
Yeah.
So find a way to use your old Army saber. So I agree. Coach K going into the Bury the Lead Hall of Fame.
Coach K and J.R. Smith together in season 4. What a duo.
Maybe go golf together next year. Coach K has more time.
Maybe. Coach K could, I think, technically join a golf team in college and get an NIL
Boeheim
contract.
used to be on one. That came up in my research of him. Yeah, he was on Syracuse's golf team.
Interesting. Okay.
That's right. He had a 3 handicap. Things I learned for the good of the show. Yeah, there you go.
I'm glad they mentioned that part.
Yeah.
That's very good. Okay, Jake. That was our college basketball talk for today. Are we transitioning to NBA?
Yep.
Okay. Big week in the NBA, especially, this is a big point in the season now. There's some, we're adding 2 more teams to the playoffs today. And on top of that, funny thing happened. I got a notification earlier last week on my phone, and I think it must have been The Athletic or Bleacher Report, said the Phoenix Suns have clinched the playoffs. And that's hilarious. That's cute. That's hilarious. All of our listeners know the Suns clinched the playoffs back in November 28th. So they've been here.
That's right.
But that's fine. That's I'm glad everyone's caught up to our thing. We'll put the teams in the playoffs at the end. We'll start with the champion, Jake, and we left off with, just looking right now. Ooh, close game. We left off with the Cavaliers winning back-to-back games, but then they had the Lakers coming to town, or at least playing the Lakers. LeBron's kind of on his kick here, like, hey, I should probably make the playoffs. So LeBron played really well. He had like a 38-point triple-double, won the game against the Cavs. Wow, destroying Cleveland. Good for him. Game after that, LeBron did not play. They played the 76ers. Russell Westbrook played pretty good. He kind of got out of his funk a little bit after the T-Wolves just roasted him. Yeah. So he's actually been playing a little bit better. But the 76ers ended up winning a close game, destroyed the Clippers after. So the 76ers are the current champs right now, 2 in a row. They're playing as we speak against the Suns and losing.
Ooh.
So the Suns could be the next champion. And they went on that big run back in February, as we remember. So they are making a case to win it all this year. CP3 just came back, Jake. So they're playing well.
Thank God.
Just in time.
Thank point God.
Oh, that's him.
There you go. It also looks like it's probably going to be a playoff team that's going to bring the championship banner into the playoff sack, which means we got them, boys. We did it. We told you. We told you. We're going to be right. Bet your house on it now.
Yeah. Sorry about it. Sorry we figured out the NBA. Yeah. Crazy. One shot. One hitter quitter.
That's right.
MVP, we left off with the Anthony Edwards edging out Karl Anthony Towns because he had a better free throw percentage, as we remember. And if he had more attempts, he probably would have made more. We get it. Game after that, though, Karl Anthony Towns said,
Bigger town.
Only scored 22 points. Doesn't matter. Unfortunately, they were playing the Mavericks, and as we know, the Mavericks have Dwight Powell.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
Yes. We all know this.
Just right now.
Yeah. Dwight Powell also scored 22. Dwight Powell put together a good performance, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Hard to top, but Karl Anthony Towns was a more efficient 4 for 4, so he takes the MVP back on the same rule that lost it for him. How's that?
Efficiency is the best way to break that tie. That's so good. I love that so much.
It was short-lived, however. DeAndre Ayton and the Suns played the Timberwolves after. Cat only scored 15. Edwards only 19. DeAndre Ayton, a modest 35. And he took the MVP. Game after that was the game that Chris Paul came back for against the Nuggets. And I can't say this enough. Nikola Jokic only has so many fucking opportunities, and he keeps throwing them away. He scored 28 points. That's fine. But someone needs to guard Devin Booker now that Chris Paul is passing to him, because Devin Booker scored 49 points. Guard him.
Jokic.
And he only hit 2 threes. They were just...
That's a lot of layups.
Yes.
That's a lot of mid-range jumpers.
Yeah. Let's stop him, please. God. And he was also...
That's why you pay for Pat Bev.
That's why. That's why he is the most sought-after player in the league right now. Pat Beverly, by the way, kind of went viral today. His daughter was texting him. He posted it on Instagram. His daughter got a technical foul, and he was proud of her.
That's awesome. That's really, really good. Yeah. I saw a tweet that really made me laugh during the middle of the week where someone tweeted out, Pat Beverly's really got Cat playing in a different way this season. And I was like, fuck giving Pat Beverly all the credit for everything the Timberwolves do.
I believe it, though. In my heart, I believe this exact thing.
He did what Jimmy Butler
couldn't. Yes.
Oh, my gosh. That's so dumb.
It's true, though.
He's helped. I just hate that, everywhere he's gone, it's been like, thank God for Pat Bev and his can-do attitude.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, man, whatever.
Gritty.
Infectiously gritty.
Yes.
That's the part that, like, irks me. I'm like, yeah, sure. Or maybe it's, I don't know, Cephalosius. He's still on the team. Maybe he's getting them gritty. Or the ghost of Kevin Garnett. Maybe that's bleeding through. No. That's what Kevin Garnett couldn't make Karl Anthony Towns gritty.
Well, they played together 1 year. Like, not even a full
How
year.
long have Pat Bev and him played together? Not even 1 year.
Beverly's a spark plug, though.
Yeah, not Garnett, notably.
And he had an off season. KG came in the middle of the year.
Oh, you're right. point made.
Yeah.
What am I doing here? Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, the Suns are playing right now against the 76ers, so we don't know who the next MVP is yet. I know Devin Booker scored 22 in the first quarter. He currently has 32, but Joel Embiid, 29. It is going to come down to the final seconds, folks. It's going to be very good. Maybe an update at the end of the show because everyone wants to know. But what everyone truly wants to know right now is who is entering the playoffs as the 7th teams, I believe. Yes, in each conference, and we're right on track.
Yeah, we've all of our panic during the middle of the year of what do we need to do to get the right number of teams.
We corrected. I'm not sure exactly how we want to do it, but I think we will work the system in the correct way because 6 teams make the playoffs, and then there's the 4 teams afterwards who fight for the last 2 spots.
Yeah.
And there aren't enough games to really do it, so I think if you win your play-in game, you're in for us.
That's the way to do it.
I think it's the best way to do it.
That's really good. Yeah,
I think it's the best way to do it.
It might be the only way in for a couple teams, especially in the East.
That is correct. That is correct. But let's get right to it. The East, as we know, if you have a sneeze coming. Okay.
You were right. He's psychic, folks.
What's going on? And I predicted the 76ers making the playoffs.
That's right.
Back on November 7th. Crazy. 76ers made the playoffs. Then the Hornets locked it up. And by the way, like I said back then, you just got to make it. Then you can coast, show back up in April. And that's what they've been doing. So Hornets are in. Cavaliers are in. The Bulls are in. The Heat are in. The Celtics went in on a hot streak this last time out. And looking at it right now, over the past 10 games in the Eastern Conference, Celtics have the best record at 9-1, but they're already in. We have the... Oh, no. Because of a win today? Is that what happened? Or from the other day? Oh, no. It looked like the Milwaukee Bucks were going to make it.
Oh, no.
I was really happy for them. But unfortunately, the Bucks are only 7-3 over the past 10 games, and the sneaky Toronto Raptors are 8-2.
Oh, the Warriors.
Toronto Warriors. They've got Warriors up there. They have that Warrior spirit up there in Toronto.
Right.
With the Raptors, 42-32 record, 8-2 over the past 10. Congratulations to the Raptors on making the playoffs, and that's good. But Jake, this is the thing now. The Bucks have to drop all the way to the play-in game for a shot to make it in.
So we're not going to add another team. This was it. This was our last one in the model.
One more, but it's going to have to come down to the play-in games because there's less than 10 games left of the season.
Right.
We can debate, is that how we want to do it?
Because how many games left are there in the season?
74, 8 games.
So could you take the best record out of those 8 and do a play-in team, and we'll add 2 of them?
Do we want 2, though? Because I would put 9 in each conference. We can do...
We could add 2 and then eliminate the one that's not actually in it. If you lose a play-in game, it's a disqualifier.
I like the idea of bumping somebody out.
We
maybe
bumped the one with the lowest overall record.
That's the tiebreaker.
It's a corrective model. Yeah. You know what? Actually, though, we're laughing about it. Your system has worked. It's just that.
Oh, we know. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone knows. It's just gonna give us maybe a different shakeup of the top 10 teams than the actual top 8.
I'm fine with this, to be completely honest. This is how we're gonna do it. Either the final day of the regular season, we'll look at the past 10 games. We can do that. Or it'll be the winner of the top play-in matchup. And if that team's already in, then it'll be the winner of the next play-in matchup.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea more of doing the last 10 games just because it sticks,
That's true consistency.
Stick to our guns, yeah.
Okay, so last day of the regular season, we will look what's going on. But for right now, the Toronto Raptors are
Bucks.
in.
Come on, Bucks.
Hey, the Bucks shouldn't have lost that last game. They got blown out yesterday by the Memphis Grizzlies, and that cost them.
Who doesn't? A Morantless
Morant, that's where they're the most dangerous.
Yeah.
They would have won because we know the tiebreaker is the last MVP.
With or without Ja. That's a joke that's gonna... Oh, I feel really good about it. I feel really good about it. All right, there we go.
That was good. Western Conference, this one, bullseye every fucking time this matter. I'm sorry about it, but this is the situation. Warriors went in first with the 9-1 record, then the Suns, then the Grizzlies, then the Jazz, then the Nuggets, then the Mavericks. That's our top 6. Oh, weird. That's the top 6 of the playoffs? Who knew? Who knew?
We told you.
We told you, dude. And then the next one now, we look at the past 10 games. Suns have the best record. Grizzlies have the next best record. They're both in. And oh, look at that 7 seed. Minnesota Timberwolves 7-3. They are in the playoffs. Thank you, Pat Beverly.
Best Timberwolves team of all time.
It very well could be.
By the way, yeah.
I accidentally put Mavericks again.
They're in twice.
Yeah.
So who's on the bubble for them? For the East, we're looking at teams that maybe could be in. I would love if it was a flyer, but
Well, Kyrie Irving today gets to play his very first home game of the season, so we're expecting a strong late season push for the Nets. So
are they already in our model?
No.
Oh, okay. Bucks or Nets would be a good addition. In the West, we're probably hoping for the Clippers, huh? Or your Los Angeles Lakers?
I'm sure Lakers will make it. Would be my guess. Well, look at these 3 teams, bro. 2-8, 3-7, 4-6.
That's the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Pelicans. For audio listeners.
Was that not obvious?
Look at these 3 teams. They should have been able to figure it out from that, yeah.
Lakers play the Pelicans today. That's a big game in terms of seeding, just in general. Kings are trying to lose. Blazers are trying to lose. Spurs, I don't know what they're trying to do. Lakers and Pelicans might actually fall out of the play-in game. So the Lakers actually have to start trying now.
Yeah, that's weird. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait next week to talk more about the NBA playoffs.
Yes. And honestly, this next week is going to be one of the biggest weeks in the NBA. It just keeps getting bigger.
My favorite was that one week where you were like, not that big a week.
It wasn't. I'm honest.
There was that one where it was not going to lie, kind of quiet.
Because it did. I think that was the week the Cavs went on a 7-game winning streak. Who cares?
That's right.
They're
big week for Christian Wood.
Yep, Christian Wood. A lot of juniors.
Yeah.
Okay, so shifting gears again, though. We are shifting to the NFL.
Ooh.
Lots of news in the NFL. Lots of trades. Lots of free agency movement. And it's leaving a lot of people to ask the question, who's good and who's not good? And we...
No. The answer.
Oh, yes. They're saying, no. That's not what they're questioning.
I don't know why I took that chance to finish your sentence. I was like, here's a cat. I'm going for it.
No. They're like, people are not asking that, so actually.
I've heard. My people haven't asked me.
Yeah. But one of the things honestly, possibly the only thing I admire about soccer, thinking about it, chants are okay, but chants are just to keep people awake.
The atmosphere. Come on. You like the
A lot of smoke, weak lungs. So,
It's a really good tagline for you, I think.
It's going to be my memoir.
That's really good. The Zach Bruder brand. A lot of smoke, weak lungs.
Yeah.
Could give it out. Taking it was tougher. Yeah.
But we really like the whole Premier League, Champions League getting promoted, relegated, all that stuff. I think that's really cool, really smart. And the NFL needs to figure it out. If you're not going to figure it out now, then when? If we're not going to figure it out, then who? So,
That's right. Not us, then who?
Yes. So we are going to be putting. Just remember what we named them. We're going to be putting.
I got a name for the top one, by the way.
Okay, cool. So we're going to be splitting them even 16-16, and we have been brainstorming other things to do with these leagues later on. But in soccer, it's the Premier League, the Champions League. But for the NFL, it's going to be what, Jake?
The Peyton Premier League.
Okay. And then the Champions League is?
The Cooper Cup.
Yes, that is right.
That's right.
After Cooper Manning, the less known Manning.
That's right.
Yes. So I think we should go one at a time, basically nominating a team for that league.
Okay. Do you want to pinball back and forth between the leagues, or just fill up the Payne Premier and see what's left?
I think let's just do the obvious ones first, because I think there are a bunch of super obvious ones, and if either of us have a gripe with what the other's saying, then we'll just skip that one.
Okay. Who's your first nominee?
I'm going to go super easy with us. I'm going to say the Packers are in the Peyton Premier League.
They belong in the PP, just like everybody else. Come on, bring it in.
That's right. Everyone knows the Packers belong in the PP. Now, for you, Jake, who is your first nomination?
My nomination for the Cooper Cup is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, that's hard to argue. They got Cooper Cup written all over them.
They do have Cooper Cup written over. Plus, they've got a young gun quarterback. If they earn it, welcome back.
Right.
Maybe if you play the Colts enough, maybe you've got a chance.
That's true. Make every game home against the Colts. That's
right.
their slogan this year.
That's a good slogan.
Yeah.
Who's your next nominee?
I'm going to go with another one in the Cooper Cup, and I'm going to go with the New York Jets.
Ooh, good one.
Will they ever be good again? Probably not.
That's right.
They'll get a chance to fight for it.
That's right. Or if not, we can finally stop paying attention to them.
Yes,
right? I think if you're in the Cooper Cup, I think it comes with the bylaw that Mike Greenberg can't talk about you.
That's right.
So that might help. Or Stu Gatz.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm going to go back to the PP. We're going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, historic franchise. I completely agree with that. Lots of Super Bowls, obviously. And I'll stick right there with you with another one with a lot of history, a lot of Super Bowl wins. I'm going to go with the New England Patriots also going in the PP.
I think that's fair. Really good team, playoff quality team. Plus, you can have Bill Belichick in the Cooper Cup.
Bill Belichick has nothing to do with Cooper Cup, Jake.
That's true. That's true. Not his type of wide receiver. Next.
I don't know what you mean, but continue.
Yeah, we are going to go with a team that I would like to see in the... Oh, where do I want them? Yeah, we're going to go with the PP here, and I'm curious as if you're going to agree with me or not. Now we'll go a layup first. I want the Cowboys in the PP.
Yep.
Big name. They always beat up on that division.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with it. Also, I mean, there is a lot of history behind them, too.
I would love them to fall out, though. We'll put them here so that they can tumble.
Correct. Exactly. I would love nothing more for them to get relegated.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm going to go with another one in the PP. And again, I do place weight on the team's legacy, whether that is good or not.
Yeah.
But they have also been very good lately, and that's the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
So they are competing. Apparently, the Jets are trying to trade for Deebo Samuel, which I'm sure is a totally true report and not some Jets person trying to get clicks from ESPN. But never know. Maybe they'll trade for Deebo Samuel this year.
Yeah. A team that I think that I want in the PP because of the moves they've made this offseason and because of that combination of legacy, and also I think they've shown they're always trying to be good. How about the Denver Broncos?
In the PP? Or in Cooper Cup or PP?
PP, I think.
I think so too.
They're not a top tier team, but I think they could be one of our lower ones. I don't want Russell Wilson in the Cooper Cup. I think
that's a good point. I think they're on the border for me, so I think we'll see where it shakes out. There's a chance we revisit it, but I think
that's fair. That's fair.
I think they're right there. A team that I'm going to put in the Cooper Cup.
Let's say this too. I don't think we're not just going off of win-loss record for those listening.
Correct.
Either. Yeah.
Correct.
Just so they know. So when we get to it and they're like,
this truly is a past, present, future.
That's
type
right.
of.
That's right. Just like the Manning family, we're evaluating who to invest in. You know.
Mm-hmm. Some of these teams are an Archie. Some of these teams are an Arch, and some of these teams are an Eli. God forbid.
Yeah, that's right.
Not
that Cooper can't be on TV, but only with Peyton.
Yes, exactly right.
Exactly
right. You can't pick them out otherwise.
Yeah.
This is a team that is going to go into the Cooper Cup. But boy, can I not wait for them to crawl and just show their grit and just to fight and get to the Peyton Premier League. And that
Chiefs.
Yes. It's Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. And they're set up. They're set up to go right now.
Speaking of, I said them, so I'll put them in there. The Chiefs got to be in the Payne Premier League.
Yes. This they do.
Even though they're significantly slower after this last week.
Yeah.
No Tyreek Hill.
No Tyreek Hill. Who knows what's going to happen? But they got MVS. Good for them.
Good for the same guy.
Just fast.
Fast. Real fast.
Less, we will go with another layup, and it doesn't need to be explained. Youngest franchise, Houston Texans, haven't done anything except for offload a troubled man. And of course, I'm talking about Coach Dave.
That's right. That's who it was. I was wondering who you were going to... JJ.
Yes.
I'm going to go with... I don't know if I want them here, but I think they deserve to be, because there's a part of me that wants all of the NFC South in the Cooper Cup. But I think you have to have Tom Brady's Buccaneers in the Premier League.
I agree.
The Peyton Premier League.
They're going to have to make moves to stay, because that is a team that historically has been in the Cooper Cup.
First rule of the new league: only one NFC South team at a time. I think maybe this is something worth visiting later down the line.
I think NFC East follows the same rules.
For sure.
Yeah, we're going to go, this is a team that could be in the Peyton Premier League, but if it came down to a kick, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings are in the Cooper Cup.
Ooh, that's not who I thought you were going to say, and I like it. I
know who you were thinking, and maybe that reasoning will come, but I don't think so.
Yeah, because I agree with you. Also, you're going to want to delete Patriots there from our list.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're already in the Peyton Premier League. On that note, we are going to go with your Arizona Cardinals in the Cooper Cup.
Okay.
I think top of the Cooper Cup, probably, but that feels like a good cutoff for me.
I agree. There's a couple other teams that could be on that cutoff. I'm not sure where we are going to land on some of these. But I know we will agree on the Los Angeles Rams, reigning Super Bowl champions, to be in Peyton Premier.
That's right. Where else would you put Cooper Cup except in the Peyton Premier League?
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
So with that, I think a team that now for sure has to be in the Cooper Cup, the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. What are they doing? Working out Colin Kaepernick. Maybe they'll give him a shot.
It's about time.
I haven't heard his name in a while. Where's he been?
What's he been up to? I can't believe no one's looked into that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That'd be good. Stand up. We got a job for you, bud. That's pretty good. Who do you got next?
I'm gonna put the other New York team in the Cooper Cup. The Giants, I think, are doing some good things. They got the legacy behind them, but they just have been absolute stinkers since the boat picture. So
that's true.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Another team for now we're getting into some fringe teams for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with I think the most obvious one left, and I'm going to put the Baltimore Ravens in the Payne Premier League.
I agree with that. Ravens are a steady franchise, good, got promise. Injuries bit them in the butt last year, but they didn't get relegated. They were close, I would say.
Yeah.
I will go with another in Payton Premier, the Bills. They're the current favorites to win the Super Bowl.
I didn't know where we were going to land on that one, but I agree. They got to be in.
Do I think they're ever going to win it all? No. But, hey, Gonzaga was a 1 seed for a reason. And
Josh Allen is destined to be in an article called The Greatest Losing Quarterback of All Time.
Yes.
So with that, another team... I don't know why out of all the teams left, this is the one I feel most confident on. The Chargers have to be in the Cooper Cup.
I think so.
Fucking prove it.
Yeah. I'm sick of the Chargers.
Tell me how good you are, Chargers. End up in the top 16 or don't, man. So
we got Khalil back. Great. Who cares? Where has Khalil back ever won?
Yeah.
Tell me that.
How about that?
How about that?
Yeah.
Chargers, I'm very happy you put them there because I was not going to let you put them in.
No, they have to be there because, like, the way this shakes out, right? There's 14 teams who make the playoffs at the end of the year based on what we do with this league. Most likely those 14 teams and then the next best 2. The Chargers, once again, will be right on the line every year. But prove it, man. Get in or don't. I'm sick of it.
Same here. Yeah. Same here. I also saw something this week that it was curated and made to make my blood boil. Yeah. I think it was Pro Football Focus. They put top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Justin Herbert was on there. I'm like, fuck you. Like, no, he's not.
Also, God, they are going to lead this league in most call-ups and relegations. For sure, right? I see them as the border bouncers.
They are border bouncers if they get over the border.
Maybe true.
Yeah.
Okay, who do you got next?
I'm going to go with another easy one with the Falcons in the Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
They have done nothing.
And now they don't even have Matt Ryan.
I know, which suddenly feels like a loss, which we would never have thought.
And to that point, I've been wondering what to do with this team, but I think looking at what's left, I think the Indianapolis Colts should be in the Payton Premier League. It's Payton. For crying out loud. He's got to start there anyway.
I agree. They should have made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
It's pretty pathetic, but I think Matt Ryan actually makes them okay.
How bad is Carson Wentz?
I don't know. That's the issue.
That's the thing. They did this whole deal, and I think if you put a gun to someone's head and they're like, Carson Wentz or Matt Ryan, we just all go, like, I don't know. They're so comparable. One's older.
They're opposites and the same.
It's true.
Unbelievable.
Oh, it's wild. All right.
I'm going to go with another one in the Payton Premier. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans. Again,
yeah, they need to be in it.
I think they're towards the bottom, but they are good, and Vrabel's not a Cooper Cup. Let's just make that very clear.
And record-wise,
they keep winning somehow against all odds.
So they got to be in there. Legacy-wise, I was wondering what to do with it, but I think just they have to be in the Cooper Cup for now. The Chicago Bears.
Yeah, and they're clearly selling for the future right now. So yeah, there's no way they should be up there. It's getting close. So now for people listening at home, we got the Eagles, Commanders, Saints, Panthers, Bengals, Browns, Dolphins, Raiders. 3 spots left in the Payton Premier.
Yes, and 5 left in the Cooper Cup. And that's with a check mark next to the Broncos as a maybe in the Payton Premier. But I don't know. I'm kind of feeling good about that.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's 3 left. So, yeah.
I'm going to go with the Saints in the Payton Premier.
I was wondering about that. Looking at the teams left, they should be one of the 3.
Like, I think this is a team that probably falls out this year.
Yeah.
But in terms of what they've done over the past decade, that's where they need to be.
Do we want to do the 2 fall out and 2 get called up? For relegation and promotion?
We can figure that out as we come to it.
Yeah, later. Ask us the last week of the season.
Yeah, we'll see who's about to fall out. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Bottom 7 fall out, top 7 call up.
Chaos.
Yeah. So I would say next then, I think the easiest is to fill those last 2 spots in the Payton Premier League.
Yes.
To do that, I know we were joking about putting them in the Cooper Cup, and I could see a lot of arguments for it, but looking at who's left, I'm thinking that the Cincinnati Bengals should be in the Payton Premier League.
I think so too.
I don't love that, but it's like I think there's like a 3-way dance right now for who could be those last 2 spots, and I think they're the one that is most obvious that they should be in it.
They've done really well this offseason as well. In terms of, hey, we should spend money, and hey, let's get an offensive line.
And again, think of the storylines when they fall out right away.
Right, it's going to be great.
They make the Super Bowl and they're gone.
Okay, so now we have to choose one between the Browns, Eagles, Commanders, Dolphins, Raiders, Panthers. Obviously, the Browns, Dolphins, Raiders have all gone significantly better, you would say, this offseason.
Yeah.
Eagles, you never know where they are. Commanders are not in it. Neither are the Panthers.
Yeah. So let's put the Eagles and the Panthers into the Cooper Cup.
You think Eagles for sure?
I said Eagles and I meant
Panthers.
Panthers and Commanders. Yeah. I think out of the 4 left, the Browns, Eagles, Dolphins, and Raiders, I think the Browns should be in the Cooper Cup.
I agree.
Prove it.
Yeah, they have proven nothing.
Also, we need one from that division in the Cooper Cup.
True.
So I think that's good there. As far as the last one goes,
I don't think the Raiders can be in the Premier.
I don't think so either. And it also feels weird to put the Dolphins there.
Right. These are okay, so let's talk about this. Eagles last year were expected to be one of the worst teams in the entire NFL, and they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been what they've been doing for the past 5 years or so. They keep overachieving. This offseason, they made moves where I don't know what they're doing. Like,
yeah.
They made some really good moves to improve for this year, and then they made some moves where it's like, oh, maybe they're just trying to... I don't know what they're doing, but they do have Jalen Hurts at quarterback, who is not a good quarterback. Dolphins just traded for Tyreek Hill. Obviously, they got a bunch of playmakers there.
Yeah.
And they made the playoffs they missed it a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
They're close.
Yeah. I would say, and you tell me what you want to do with this information, but just going off feel, I feel like if we put the Eagles in the Cooper Cup and the Dolphins in the Payne Premier, that they will flip-flop at the end of the year. Like, that just seems destined that one will fall and they'll get up. So I think we put, the Eagles were a playoff team last year, I think, and that division's bad.
Yes.
So I think we put them in the Payne Premier, and if they prove us wrong, they fall down.
Okay.
Give the Dolphins, time to shine.
Prove it, Tua.
Yeah. No one's ever told them that before.
No. Everyone's been a big believer. Okay, so we got our 16-16 top to bottom in Payton Premiers, Packers, Steelers, Patriots, Cowboys, Niners, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Ravens, Rams, Bills, Colts, Titans, Saints, Bengals, Eagles, Broncos. In the Cooper Cup is the Jaguars, Jets, Lions, Texans, Vikings, Cardinals, Seahawks, Giants, Chargers, Falcons, Bears, Panthers, Commanders, Browns, Raiders, Dolphins. And like I said before, we are going to be doing probably multiple things with this.
Yeah. There will be teams who get relegated and promoted. There will be a winner of the Payne Premier League. There will be a, promotion for those in the Champion League. So I think that will all be good, and then there'll be things on top of that as well.
Yes. There could be other sorts of drafts having to do with these teams, with us, and maybe you at home.
Ooh, I thought you were saying that to me. And I was like, was I not included in us?
No. But yeah, that's what we got here. Do we have anything else for the show, Jake?
Yeah, we got a draft.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're closing on today. We are going to close on our food court draft to wrap things up. So it's getting drafty in here, Zach. Ooh. So if you're getting drafty at home, why don't you go to mysportshirt.com? Get yourself a nice sweater. Perhaps you'll get one like me, a wake up and grind sweater, which, by the way, every time I wear it, gets a lot of love.
Good.
It's
a very good design.
Yeah.
I like it.
So go get yourself some merch. It helps the channel a lot. I watch too many YouTube videos. I don't know why I said channel.
Well, we're on the YouTube channel as well right now, Jake. Some people are listening on youtube.com/FlurrySports.
Subscribe, like, share.
Also, just a quick little plug for another podcast that I am doing, episode 3 this week of Inside the USFL. It is with myself and Jordan McRae, who's the center for the Birmingham Stallions in the USFL. It is going to be very much a fan participation, community-style show where you submit any questions you want answered, and we will be giving you an inside look at the USFL from someone literally on the inside. They just started practices this week, so this show is going to have a lot more information than the past two. You can submit questions at Inside USFL on Twitter or on FlurrySports, the youtube.com/FlurrySports. We have two podcast videos up there where you can submit questions as well. Jake submitted some questions last week, and he's got more in the docket for us to answer. But I think it's a really cool show, and if you are a football fan, you can learn about anything from NFL practice squad to USFL, AAF, XFL. Jordan has been on all of it, so ask any questions you want. And we truly want to give you a unique look, which I think is really cool.
I love it. It's been a really good podcast so far. And, of course, been telling you for the last few weeks, but please continue to check out the Playing Catch Up podcast on Spotify with myself and my dad, the original, Pete Osmond.
Pete has been really enjoying it. I'm not sure why he wore a full fur coat out to the bars last night, telling everyone, yes, I am him. Yes, you are correct. I am Pete Osmond.
That's right. But, it's going to his head. In case you're wondering what two Twins fans think of all the Correa news, we're on there. In case you want to hear my dad tell me that I'm dumb for thinking that Ichiro Suzuki might be as good as Ken Griffey Jr., listen this Thursday. That's going to be a fun one there. So it was a fun time. My dad does that sometimes where I'm like, Dad, I'm going to convince you right now that Ichiro is better than Ken Griffey. And he said, no, you're not, because he's not. And I was like, all right, Dad, don't have any fun with it. That's fine. Yeah. So be sure to listen to that and share that podcast as well. It's a good time.
Pete's not a yes, I had guy.
No, he's all right. We're done improving now. Is the bit over? So that is good. So with that said, we are going to do our next bit, Zach. We're drafting. Yes. We're drafting our perfect food court. And so by that, this is something I wanted to get. And maybe this is a strategy. So if this is more strategy than something, then feel free not to share. Are you going for the food court where you'd walk in and you'd go, yup, that's a food court? Or are you going for your personal preference, these are the restaurants I would want in a food court?
I think somewhere in the middle. So it's not where you're going Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Because I want the buns. That's not a food court restaurant.
Okay, so we're not putting random fancy chain restaurants in there. They should be...
If you think they could operate in the food court style and they're not currently there, then I think you can do it.
Okay.
But again, an IHOP doesn't work.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know what I mean? And you had the first overall pick because I think I went first last time.
Yep, you did. So it is going to be me, and my first overall pick...
I think we're doing 5.
We're going to do 5. Snake draft style. My first overall pick, because it's a wombo combo, I'm going to get it out of the way. You need ice cream in your food court. I'm going Dairy Queen Orange Julius, baby. You knew it had to be in there. What food court doesn't have big old OJs on it?
That was what I told you last night. Every food court needs this restaurant. That's not the one I was talking about.
No, I don't think it was, but I don't want the other one.
But there's a second one that was going to be my sleeper. I didn't think you were going to think of it. That's a very good one.
I love s'mores blizzards. That's what screwed it for you.
Damn it.
I want them.
Should have known.
Yeah.
Should have known. And for me, I think every food court needs to have this restaurant. It's not a restaurant that I particularly choose to go to. In fact, I only know one person who chooses it and really loves it, and that's Michael Scott on The Office. They gave him a... authentic New York slice, if you remember, and that is Sbarro's. Yeah. Every food court needs to have Sbarro's by default, so I'm not going to go, but it's going to be a choice.
I didn't know if you were going to go there and old Rococo's.
Rococo's is good, but no, I think Sbarro's is more widespread.
Yeah, that's fair. So who's your follow-up pick?
Now, we have to think about different cuisines, and I'm just going to go, if you want me to narrow it down, let me... You tell me to do so.
Yeah.
But every food court needs, and I'll let you also do it because I'm going generic. Every food court needs that generic, cheap-ass China buffet type, pick 2 or 3 entree thing. If you make me choose, I'll just do Panda Express. But
something like that.
Yes.
That's good. I'm not going to copycat it because I can think of other stuff, but I was thinking that too. For the goons, man, for the goons. But that is a really good pick.
I'll call it China Max because they all have that type of China Express, Oriental Express, Oriental Max. It's always...
Stir Fry 88, that's right.
Yes, It's always those like, is that racist? I'm not 100% sure. It's around there.
That's true. Next, I'm not gonna lie, I was really spending a lot of time on my first overall pick and none of my other ones. I'm going to go with, kind of like you said. I think there's different types of cuisines always. So again, I'm going a little broad here, but I'm gonna go with gyro place.
Yeah.
Number 2. You got the big shish kebab up front, the spit roast going around. Smells good. Really good, filling up the whole food court, whether you like it or not. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going there. And for my 3 pick, because I need pizza represented, I'm going to go Domino's. I don't know why it wouldn't fit in there. Plus, I want more lava cakes. So
that's a good call.
Get Domino's in my life. It's also my favorite chain brand pizza restaurant. So I'm going to have them in my food court, I think.
I agree with that. Have you ever seen a food court with Little Caesars? I feel like that would work too.
I don't know why it wouldn't work, but I haven't seen it. But maybe because Sbarro's and Rocky Rococo's have such a stranglehold on the market. I don't know. But I haven't seen a Domino's in a food court.
Neither have I.
And they have like other stuff that would work. So, that's where I would go is Domino's.
I agree. I'm going to go south of the border for this one. Jake.
Ooh. Belize.
Feel a little spicy.
It's down there.
This is a place I've never gone to.
Oh.
But I hear it's better than its Chipotle competitor. And I'm going to go with Qdoba.
Okay.
So Qdoba is going to represent the Mexican, Tex-Mex, whatever you want to call it.
Cuisine, yeah.
And then for number 4, I think we got to have a burger place.
Shit, we're on the same wavelength, Zach. Don't do it to me. What do we do?
There's a lot of good choices. Part of me really wants to say McDonald's, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, even though that could be my ice cream thing, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Five Guys.
Oh, shit, Zach. That's a good pick.
Yeah. Definitely.
Shit.
It's a step up in price and class and quality, but it's very good, and it's definitely a food court place.
It's definitely a food court place. That's why it's a good pick. All right, I'm going to go a different direction first. I wasn't worried about you picking this one, but I want a chicken place. And so I'm going to go with do I go with the one that screws you over the most? Because it's the most food courty of them. No, I'm going to go the one that's my personal preference, and I'm going to go with Raising Cane's.
Okay.
Big Kansas guy, So
I've never had it. I've heard it's good.
Really good. Chicken tenders are amazing, and they're in food courts down there, so that would be good. And then for my 5th place, I want a burger place. We are from the Midwest, so if you're listening to this and you're yelling something else, go F yourself. But if you're from the Midwest, I'm going Culver's. I'm going Culver's in my food court.
I should have.
You should have, but to be honest, I don't know if I like it as much as Five Guys, because Five Guys is the most universal.
For plain burger place, I like Five Guys more.
But
I don't have ice cream. That could have helped me out.
Oh, shit. Not me, baby. You like eggs? Custard. You don't like eggs? DQ.
Yeah.
That is true. I also just love their food the most. Like in my food court, that's probably where I'm going to eat all the time. So that rounds out my food court. I now have Cane's, Culver's, OJ/DQ, Domino's, and what is my 5th one? It'll come back to me. Carry on.
I don't remember what it is either.
Yeah, it's Gyro Place.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I have Sbarro, China Max.
Any chance my gyro place also serves funnel cakes? Feel free to shut that down. But
as long as it's made out of chickpeas.
Yeah, we're in. Okay.
Sbarro, China Max, Qdoba, Five Guys. There's one food court / mall staple I'm debating.
Ooh.
Because it sounds good right now.
That's a good reason. Yeah.
Don't go grocery shopping hungry, but that's kind of what we're doing here. And it doesn't fill the chicken need. I was hoping you'd go Chick-fil-A so I could roast you and be like, I only go to the mall on Sundays. But it didn't work out. KFC would be fire.
That's what I thought the obvious choice was.
I'm going to... Fuck it. We're going Auntie Anne's. We got to. Pretzel dogs? You kidding me?
That's the right choice. Dang it.
They got like smoothies. That's kind of ice cream.
They were on the back of my brain. That was also a really good one.
I love me some pretzels. And if we can also serve beer.
Ooh.
If that's possible.
Think that's allowed. You need your liquor license.
Damn.
Maybe Sapporo's has one.
Maybe.
Why don't you tweet at Zach what your favorite food court was? Where would you rather go eat? You could also send your letters to Hannah Brunner, of course.
Just send her the list of the restaurants.
yeah. She'll love that. Her students can, read, agree, disagree. That's right. That'll be helpful for them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was the FlurrySports Podcast. Hope you didn't take us too deep into the water while you were listening to us. 50 meters is all we are resistant up to. Jake, do you have anything else you would like to leave us on before we go into what's about to be a massive fighting weekend?
Ooh, how about this? One hot take for the road?
Let's do it.
It's really dumb that video games let you challenge plays.
That is very true.
I noticed that playing 2K this weekend. I was like looking through it. I'm like, you're a fucking machine. Why are you getting... So then it made me... I went on like too deep a dive and I'm like, Madden's let you challenge plays for like 15 years now.
Yeah.
And so it's like, did you purposely... Did you make the refs shitty on purpose?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
it's part of the game.
They probably have the refs set... Like, it just made me really mad because they probably have the refs set to get 90% of calls right.
That's unfortunate.
Isn't that dumb? Why would you do that? Like, I don't need that in my game. Like, you need the realism of it. We really want to get a call wrong.
You know how everyone loves wrong calls? Like, it just wouldn't feel like football if we didn't have that.
I was noticing that. And I'm like, how do you even design that?
That's so dumb.
Now, sorry to ruin those video games for you, but I was thinking that and I was like, why would you do that? Yeah. Why would you make me go in and correct my game? No one has misspellings in their books.
You're right.
Write the editor. Tell him what he got wrong.
That's a very good point.
There's certain spaces on Scrabble you can't use.
Because Tyler just tells you to go fuck yourself.
There's 3 words that aren't real that will get you points.
Find them.
If you find them. You have to challenge them.
Yeah.
It's like, nothing else works that way. So, there you go. Sorry to ruin those games for you, but I was sitting at home playing, and I was like, God, why would... Someone did that. And now there's a programmer out there who's like, my ref's too good. Like, they have to make the refs shitty in the games.
Yeah. That's a good point, and that's the problem with sports today. That'll be for next week's show.
That'll be next week. Fixing sports.
That's what we do here.
The Pete Rose podcast.
Very good.
There's a joke your dad would like. Tell him that one.
What was the Ja Morant joke?
With or without Ja.
With or without Ja. This was the FlurrySports Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Howdy, get rowdy.